Hi, and welcome to Painting Along with Sonia Mocnik in watercolor. And today we're going to do a pen and ink version of this beautiful little bunny in here in this basket as part of our Easter ideas. And so I thought first I would do a little bit of sketching on the face because I practiced the bunny and I kind of had him already set up on here, but I didn't like his little nose and stuff too much, so I just wanted to test it out first before we actually put it into our little vignette here. So what I want to do is I basically have my little outline of my sketch, which is going to be approximately 5 by 8. Let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, by the time you take the frame. So what I want is my little wheel down here in the corner here, and my bunny kind of up in this area if I can, and then tulips around here. But maybe I'll bring Bunny into my this quadrant right here and give him the focus right here that we need to give him. So let's get the bunny shape just by doing, as I've talked about in the past, let's do just the small shapes basically. So bunny is round, and the wheelbarrow is square, so we got to bring the wheelbarrow here. Let's get that square, let's get the round. So we can see right away that I'm too low down here, so we need to get Bunny up a bit. So let's bring my bunny up here, maybe make it just a wee bit bigger, a little bit longer body, and up with the wheelbarrow, because the wheelbarrow needs to have a scoot there. So we're not quite right in all our dimensions. All right, and this is good for thumbnailing and just figuring out what you're going to do too. Because what I'm trying to do is just get a better, I'm trying to split this up into 3s so that I have a focus, and that should be where my focus is, and I think that's where my eye of my bunny should be. So let's try fixing this up again. Bring the eye up just a bit here. His ear is going to be there. Let's just get, I love that floppy ear. His body is pretty much about the same, about there. His little hand is there. There's the front of the wheelbarrow. Now we're getting a little bit better focus there, and getting the wheelbarrow at the back here. The 2 lines, and the tire, we're going to let the tire go off. And put the little base on there. It's got little handles at the back. There's some kind of tools happening here too. So now, and then this comes back and it's on the other side here. You don't really see a lot of it from the basket there, if you can see that. So let's just get that in there for perspective. And I'm just thinking the perspective, if I'm getting the perspective right, that those lines have to be the same. So let's just try and see that. Okay, and now the basket is right behind him there. He's got a little bit more of that furry body there. Is the ear in the right place? Not really, because his eye is a lot bigger, actually. Nose is right, and the nose is there. And the eye is kind of sitting a little bit different than I expected. Let me find my eraser again. And look at that. The shape is top here, kind of comes to the nose. He's got a different kind of nose, and it's inset eye. And then the ear is down below here, kind of there. And I'm going to get his floppy ear out, make it more interesting. So, and then he's got this little fur. So I'm glad I really decided to do a little bit more of the, I'm going to bring this wheelbarrow back a bit so you can see more of the basket. See, by doing the sketching, at least I have a chance to just get some of my issues out of the way that I've missed. Say the basket down there, a little bit, cut this off a bit more. And then the other part, let's just have a look. Yeah, it comes out a bit more there. Perfect. And our tulips are just going to be up about here. And those carrots, we want that's so great, those carrots. Make sure I got those carrots right. A couple of carrots in there. And of course the carrot in his mouth, which is so important here too. And then you've got some great little things out there. I'm going to put another carrot here. But we need some Easter eggs. We have no Easter eggs anywhere, so we need some Easter eggs. We're going to pop in some Easter eggs here, as well as a beautiful tulips. And what we're going to do here, we got a little break in there. Some stuff coming out here. Want to make his pointy ear a little fun. His fur is coming out a little bit like that. There's his other arm and his little bit of body. He's holding on to that carrot. I'll make sure I've got that right. So we got another carrot here, and I'm going to try and put a couple of Easter eggs in there, just to get that little idea there. Basket. We've got the carrots. We'll put another Easter egg there. And the tulips kind of hang out. That's maybe a little too high for the tulips. Let's just make little squares for the tulips right now until I get the exact stage where I want them. That's looking good. Got some kind of stuff at the back. Well, I might put up a little egg in here too. There's a bit of a handle there. Okay, and he's holding his carrot. Can he hold anything else? Because his paw is over here too. I think we want to keep that pretty much the way it is. All right. Oh, and then there's just these two things at the base here that you'd have for the wheelbarrow. Oh, you could have a couple of eggs hanging around at the base here if you wanted to. With a couple of little pieces of grass around. Okay, I think we've got the start. Now we can go in with the pen and get this a little bit more organized. I'm going to move the bunny picture to the side here and bring this up so that you can see it a little bit better. Push it back a bit. Okay, so now this gives me time to just have some fun with this. Now I'm just going to be squiggly and loose, and don't worry about where you're going here. And I'm going to come back. I'm going to get that little bunny nose in there. And his little mouth. And then that beautiful eye. We got to get that. He's got a bit of fur around that eye. Trying to see where that little white is in that eye. And he's got a little bit of squiggles there, a little bit above the nose. It's that beautiful ear that I want to catch. And then we're going to get it coming down here. And in here and flopping out here. Like that. Great. Okay, and there's a little fluffs of fur coming out here, little fluffs of fur coming out here. We'll do them in little curly cues. And now we have to bring in that carrot, which he's got in his mouth. So we're going to do that carrot down there and around like that. And we'll do some little lines around it. Get some greenery in there. And now we're going to get his paw coming across here. And his other paw just up in there. And then his body in here. Don't see any bunny feet. Could be a bunny foot in there somewhere. Okay, so now I said I was going to try and put some eggs in there. The little dots. I mean, like potatoes. I don't know. And then we're going to have another carrot here. Coming out of the barrel. Carrot, and now there's other little grass things coming out around here. And let's get that barrel coming down here. Wheelbarrow. Like that. So a bit of a, and in here it's shadowed. Actually, it's not shadowed right there. The shadow comes in here. Some kind of wood trim there. Okay. Get there too. And now let's try and move over and get the wheel. There is the wheel. And a line there. And oh, and the part of the undercarriage comes out and actually attaches itself there. So you definitely don't see the rest of the wheel there. And the wheel comes actually under here, like that. Put a little shadow in there. And then the handle comes out. And there's some shadow right underneath here, too. Then we've got the part of the wheelbarrow here. Comes out there. And then this one comes out here. And now let's do the basket. So the basket is kind of right, it's still behind its bunny ears. There's a handle here too. And kind of well, we got the edge, kind of, there is the edge, but the basket's got these little planks that come down here. Okay, so we got that, and there's a bunch of stuff kind of hanging out of the... We won't bother with the tools. So we said there was a couple Easter eggs here. Little dots, maybe a stripe on this one. Another one up here, we'll just make plain. And then this is the other part of the wheelbarrow on the back. That comes down here where that post is. Okay, now we need those two little pieces of wood underneath. And we're going to have some Easter eggs kind of hiding down below here. Just for the fun of it. Now, up above here we have a carrot again. Coming out there. Let's pop in another carrot here. Okay, and we've got some Easter eggs in here. There's another bigger Easter egg. Stripes. Make that one plain. Now we've got our tulips at the back. Just trying to get my picture back up. And we'll bring it in so that you can see those tulips here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just basically going to squiggle and get those tulips just squiggling around, get them in place, squiggling around, get them in place. And there's another one up here, and one in the back there. And then we have nice, there we go. Okay, so I think we've got that pretty good. And there's a bit of shadow in the back here, like that. Alrighty, are we missing anything? Any other shadows that we haven't added in? The base there. Got our shadows there, we got the shadow there, there's a little bit of shadow just up here. There was a bit more shadow actually on this side of the, oh, and definitely underneath here with these wood pieces here that come up there. Oh, and there would be some more little fun stuff just hanging out of the back of the basket. And I think that's it. So now what we're going to do here is I'm just going to put my squiggle around the edge of my frame here. I'm going to bring this down just a bit. So let's just finish off our base here. There's some grass behind there. Grass just around there, and I'm just seeing that there's a bit more on that tire that you don't see. Oh, there's definitely more shadow underneath here. Okay, so let's erase all this. Excellent. That's really picked up well. I'm using the fluid 140-pound hot press paper because it takes the pen so nicely, and I can always come in here afterwards once I've painted to actually add some more ink if I need to, just to highlight some of the inks. All right, I'm going to take a break here for a second because I want to take a picture of this before I move on. So we'll be back in just a second. Hi again, we're back. I just scanned my picture and now we're going to have some fun painting. So lots of great colors that we could use. And one of the first things is we're going to do a little tiny bit of shadowing into the bunny, but not a whole lot. So I want you to be able to see the picture again just so you can have a look. Let's bring her up, and you can see that there's just a little shadowing in a few places, which we'll probably put in with violet. They definitely do the orange carrot. We'll definitely do the purple tulips, really like that. And then we'll add in a bunch of different colors for the eggs. We're going to stick to a kind of yellow ochreish, maybe with a little burnt sienna into the basket and the area of the wheelbarrow. And so for a background, I think the easiest thing to do is just keep it really light. I think even a yellow, because that'll complement the purple. So let's see here. I happen to have a yellow here in my, that is a cadmium pale yellow. So let's see if we can just pop in, yeah, that's it. We'll just pop in a bit of yellow around our image. Get that lively and bright. Okay. That was a really big brush. You don't need to use that for the rest of it. Now I'm just cleaning my, I don't know what I had in my other smaller 2 DaVinci, but I'm going to now fix that up by adding in, well, I happen to have some orange here. Let's try that orange on my carrots. A little bit, maybe too yellow. I can always add in more. Let's do those carrots back here too. So I had actually had a mixture of permanent rose and this same yellow that I just used in the background. I'm just going to add a little bit of permanent rose to darken my carrots a bit. Okay, so now, having done all that, I'm going right into my burnt sienna for my basket, wheelbarrow. And where the shadowing is, I will pop in a little bit of another color in there. I don't know if I put this over a bit, but you might get to see a little bit of my maybe, there we go. And pop the same into my basket, and the back handle, and the areas there. All right, now we want a little bit of a highlight. It's still quite wet, so I'm not sure how much I can get in there. It's a little darker back here too, at the back part. Now it's quite dark inside there. I don't want to go there yet because I'll have a problem if I do that. So I said I was going to work on the bunny being that nice purpley color. So I happen to have some really beautiful purples. One is a diazonine purple, one is an imperial purple, and I'm going to try that on my tulips. And what did I say? I was going to use it on a little bit of the shadowing of the bunny. So we're just going to pop in a little bit of that shadow in there, under here, right in behind here, although we're going to add a little grass in there, maybe a little bit here. there's a little shadow on the mouth, right here by the nose. Oh, we got a pink nose too. So why don't we put a little bit of pink in between that? So that's my permanent rose. We're just popping in a little bit of pink, and we'll put that beautiful pink nose there. Anything else? Oh yes, we can do some nice Easter eggs here. And let's pop in a little bit more of an orange one, maybe, anywhere. But I can add some other color into this afterwards. All right, we need some, definitely need some nice blue. So I'm going to use my really strong phthalo blue because it has such a nice pop to it. We get a nice pop of blue there, and what a great way to do blue because it's a complement to the orange. So that makes it fun. Pop it back here too. Put one back here. All right, so we've got some blue in there. Let's pop a little bit of blue into his eye. And now what are we going to do? We are going to, oh, my egg is creeping into my orange egg here. That was a little too fast and it was not quite dry enough. All right, so now let's try again with, do we want a yellow egg, or can we have another color in here that would be kind of popping it all? If I go to red, it's going to be a bit bright for, we want to keep it to more of the violet-y kind of purples and stuff. Let's see. A green or turquoise would be great. Let's see. So this is cobalt turquoise. I'm going to pop it in here first to see what it looks like, or if it looks really kind of greenish. I think we can handle that behind there. And that's too close there. So I'm going to start by putting a little bit of that into my leaves. And then we'll change that up with a little bit of the yellow, because that's going to turn it nice, a nice kind of greenish color. And I'll add a little bit of darker green by doing that. But you know what? I can make that egg that color too. Okay, why don't we do that here? And we'll make some grasses here that we had to. We have some grasses coming out here. We've got some on the carrot. Some more back here. There's some more underneath here. It kind of comes out over the area of the basket. Oh, definitely back here. How about underneath here? There's some coming out of the back of the cart. Can add one to the egg here. There we go. Squiggle, squiggle it down anywhere we want. Okay, so now I want to do some highlighting. Where? Okay, I am going to take my Meridian Green, because it's a great way to pop in some darker greens, but not quite the green I'm looking for. So I'll add a little bit of Ultramarine Blue and a little bit of my yellow, and hopefully it will get a really nice dark green. Okay, just to get some of those shadows in here, behind here a bit, down just underneath the basket a bit. We could even go directly with the ultramarine blue here, because it would definitely darken it up just what's actually there already. Put some of those underneath there. And we can pop in a couple of those dark leaves in between there. Where have we got? We can add some shadows. Oh, there's some dark, so we got to get in between here. So let's darken that up, and you can't even see the picture anymore. So let's turn it around so you can see it properly. No, wrong picture. There we go. Oh, there we are. So there's our bunny again. And the orange is not popping for me, so we will come back and we'll pop in a bit more orange just to get that going a little bit better. And we're going to add a little shadow to our basket. And I'm going to use orange, directly cadmium orange, mixed in with a little bit more permanent rose. That's a bit dirty, but that'll work actually for some of these shadows here. There we go. So the other shadow I mentioned, there's behind here with the basket, right in here. So I had to get that, and there's just a tiny hint of it behind there. Let's add just a wee bit more color there. And just make sure I've got it. Okay, and we need a little bit of dark in here. And so I'm just going to add a little bit of blue in there as well, just to darken it right up. And I said I would pop in a little more color into my carrot. And I happen to have some Pyrrol orange here, so let's pop in some really nice color into my carrot. And pop in that same color down here. Maybe you just pop it in here. And we can add a little bit more yellow. That was our base coat color, to darken it down here a bit. Pop in a little more color there. How about over here a bit? And we maybe add a little bit of some of that permanent rose into some of these tulips just to brighten them a bit. Maybe one of these eggs could be a little brighter. Some stripes here on this one maybe. That one kind of got, oh, well, we can make that purple just by putting that in there. I don't want to do too much in the ear here. Now I just want to see if the bunny is actually standing out enough. So let me have a look at my picture again. And see if we need to do anything else with our bunny. Pop in a little bit of shadow back here maybe. How about down below here? There's a little bit more shadow in the mouth. Her nose is good. There was a bit more shadow under, like just here where the grasses are and where her ear is. And there you go. There's your pen and ink bunny. I can't actually draw any more on it at the moment. If I wanted to highlight a little bit more of the bunny, add a little bit more whiskey stuff. It's just a bit, let's see, if it's not dry, it's dry there. So we could do that. We could have a little fun with that. Just to do a little bit more, a few curly cues around where the hairs are going out. I would assume that there'd be whiskers all over here. Whiskers off of the bunny's ear a little bit more. And we could add, if this was dry enough, we could add a little bit more across there. We could put a few more just leaves in. A couple of tulips around here if we wanted to. Make it fun. That's a bit wet. If I do this, I have to be careful because what happens is the pen will stop running from properly if I hit too much wet water on it. Okay, so I'm just going to put my little signature in here and wish you all a fun spring and looking forward to all the things that Easter brings. Thanks for watching.